The UK property market is red hot at the moment. The demand from buyers is way in excess of what's available to the market at this time. Wouldn't that suggest it is time for the Bank of England to start just nudging interest rates up?
Well, we've got a balance. Good morning. We've got a balance between people desperately wanting to get onto the housing ladder. They want to get on with their lives post-pandemic. And the only way they can do that has been supported by the base rate remaining as we think it will be today for the foreseeable future. It has definitely helped fuel the market over the last few years. This time last year, we were predicting prices to drop by 5%. The reality is in London, they went up by 4%. In the country, they went up by nearly 8%. So it is a particularly active market as we speak at the moment.
The problem is supply, though, isn't it, into the market at this point? As you say, appropriately, there are people who are desperate to get on the housing ladder and start their life in their new home, but they can't do that while prices continue to rise because of a lack of supply. How does the government square this circle? It's the same old dance, and yet nothing has happened to really bring forward higher production levels. Is it time to force the developers to release some of that land bank if they're not going to build on it?
No, undoubtedly, that's going to help. We've got a dual problem going on here. Not enough stock coming to the market for people to buy, especially for the younger generation, and certainly not enough stock for people to rent. So development work in terms of the world of the build to rent is going to be particularly important, but also the government has got to offer a better way for the building developers to be enticed into taking on more land and building more stock. No doubt about it.
Tim, while we have a very active property market at this stage, it does feel as though it comes off a low base. There's been so much Brexit uncertainty in recent years, which damaged prices across in prime London anyway. I know people who sold properties, and while they managed to get the transaction through, they didn't achieve prices that they'd seen in recent years. What is it going to take to get those prices back towards some of the highs that we had witnessed in, say, the past 5 years?
Well, there's a correlation between what's gone on with the base rate. I mean, the base rate hasn't really moved since 2008. Before that, it never went below 2%. Between 2008 and now, property prices have gone up by 34%. We've got a situation now where people are keen to move on. They got Brexit fatigued with what happened. They were coming out of political uncertainty with what was going on with government. And after the general election, there was this huge swathe of people wanting to get on with their lives. So January, February, March, before the first lockdown, we saw some of the biggest levels of rise that we've ever seen. We then had 2 months worth of lockdown, and then we were back into seeing levels where we are now, which is above the 5-year average in terms of people wanting to buy and in fact wanting to rent.